One. And we're live. We are on episode 7 of our World of Lifting podcast. And this is our first Olympic weightlifter on this podcast. Jared George, exercise science major at SUNY Cortland. Jared, how you doing, my man?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I was looking out for some Olympic lifters, and I found one.
You got me.
Yeah. So we're gonna start this podcast off with a question that I always ask: is how did you get into Olympic lifting?
Yeah. So I've been doing Olympic weightlifting for I'm going on 6-ish months now. It's early December, Thanksgiving time of 2019, so about 6 months.
During turkey season, huh? Wow.
Yeah. First saw it kind of on like Instagram. It wasn't anything special. It was kind of just like I've been a weightlifter for like years now, and it was kind of just like in my feed that like I saw it on Instagram a few years ago. And then when I transferred to Cortland last fall, that community, that fitness community and those powerlifters, there's like no Olympic weightlifters there. I was like one.
You're the only one?
I was like one of like three maybe. There's a guy that I train with at like 6 a.m, the assistant head football coach.
Oh, didn't someone recently graduate that was a weightlifter?
Like
I think I saw him on your story.
Oh no, that was the coach. He actually moved out to I want to say Ohio. Unfortunately for me. But he moved out there to pursue another job, which good for him. He's doing really well. Really proud of where he is now and what he's accomplished, sort of thing.
Yeah, give him a shout out. What's his name?
His name's Kyle.
Kyle,
you're out there. You're doing great, man. Love to see it. Hope you come back to visit.
Yeah. So before Olympic weightlifting, I think you said you were very big into soccer, and I didn't know this. You were also what's it called, motocross?
Yeah, played soccer my entire life since I was the age two or three. Played AYSO up until I got into like middle school, and then I played for like a sort of travel club, and then when I got into high school, I played JV my freshman year, and then I was on varsity from sophomore to senior. And then since then, I kind of just got into more recreational style soccer playing. So I'll just play like little scrimmages, like club soccer stuff here and there. When I was at Clarkson the past 2 years, while I was up there, I actually got into competitive spike ball, which was just awesome.
Competitive spike ball? Dude, spike ball's insane.
Loved it. We had a club up at Clarkson. I think it's still up there. It should still be.
I didn't know how crazy spike ball was until I saw it on like Sports Center or something. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, they did.
That's weird.
They do like huge tournaments, and there's some guys out there that are just freaks of nature, the way they are like built anatomically, that like their movements and like the way they can get to the ball and the hits and all the just serves and stuff they have, it's insane. These guys are.
I saw on your account you're a spike ball ambassador.
Yeah. It was one of those things that I saw it on. It was like one of those things that you can do. I was that good where I was like, if I ended up staying at Clarkson, it was like all of my friends here. We had a team of like, I want to say like 20, 30 people.
Is Clarkson a college or a high school?
College, Clarkson University.
Okay.
Yeah, way up north near the border up in Potsdam.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it's cold up there. Let me tell you.
Oh my god! Upstate, man, crazy. I went up there back in December. It's snowing all the time.
Yeah, it was rough. I remember my 2 years up there was just like you didn't see the sun from like mid-September until like beginning of May. So it was just like dark clouds or gray clouds the entire time, and just icy, raining. It's tough up there, but it's a very good school for engineering, and that's what I was there for at the time. So I was in the right spot for that. It was just tough to live there. And I had my fraternity brothers and stuff up there. So it was, it was doable for the time. But I kind of just fell out of. I didn't have a passion. Yeah, I didn't have a passion for what I was doing there. And I really just my whole life I've been involved in fitness. So, the soccer, and then I raced motocross my whole young life from the time I was like 10 until
how does
18.
that work? Is that just like see who's the fastest, or like
fun.
you do tricks?
So that it's who's the fastest.
Okay.
Yeah, so these tracks have jumps on them and stuff, and some of the jumps are like massive, and they have like rhythm sections and things that are just obstacles that are very hard for beginners.
So is it like Tough Mudder on a bike?
What's up?
Is that like Tough Mudder on a bike?
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, so
I loved it.
Moving on from that, so what attracted you towards Olympic lifting? Like, was it like because the movements were just so like dynamic? You're like, oh crap, that looks so cool.
Yeah, it was the technicality of it. There was a few different aspects of it, and I haven't fully realized some of these until I've gotten a few months in. And at this point, USAW, which is like the national Olympic weightlifting. I don't know if you want to call it federation or just like the company or organization that runs it. Like powerlifting has like a lot of different federations, but weightlifting.
Way too many federations.
Yeah, weightlifting only has one, and it's USAW, and everything's done through USAW.
And are they affiliated with IWF?
Sort of. So like on the road to being an Olympian, you start with your local meets, and then you kind of, you're the odd one out that's like you're pushing a little bit more weight than like the top of the people in your category. So you're excelling at this rate that's like you're looking at, from the outside perspective, it's like, okay, this guy, this girl, like she's got something, like you could probably do something with her, and you get noticed by a coach. But then you go your local meets, and then I think you go national level meets, and then I think there's like Pan Ams and there's like internationals, and you cycle through these. You have to go through and you have to
get those points, right?
Yeah, you have to like medal at a certain amount of these meets to qualify for some of the even more elite meets. So there's like, I think more
like world championships.
Yeah, like the worlds and stuff like that. The Pan Ams, I think you have to like qualify nationally for those, and then to be considered for the Olympic Games, I think you actually have to go through that national cycle and win a few, or at least medal at a few national meets to even be considered for that Olympic position.
It's the Olympic Games. You are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, representing the country.
That's the dream, dude. That's oh my God, these athletes work their entire lives for it. It's crazy.
Yeah. I've seen a great example. So if you guys don't know, the top teams currently, I believe China, Russia, Poland?
I'm not sure.
Forgetting.
I'm not sure.
Crap, what's another big nation that's huge?
Over in Europe, I think.
Kazakhstan. Oh my God, that's a crazy one too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They have like Olympic camps over there. They start lifting when they're like.
Oh, dude, they pick them out when they're like 6.
Yeah, they're so young. It's like
crazy.
We start kindergarten, they start Olympic lifting.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nuts.
We're learning how to read and write. They're learning they're learning how to press with a PVC
It's different.
pipe.
It's different cultures though. They expect different things at different ages. It's weird for us to look out at them, but like I completely understand the difference in cultures, and I think it's super cool that like they, as a nation, get involved in things like that so early, because I think that's where we fall short, is like we don't implore ourselves in our youth to pursue these things like we used to.
I think we do though, just not like because so when you look at these nations, so China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, they are a lot of their medals that they win at the Olympic Games. A lot of them are strength sports. I mean,
Yeah.
well, China's
Oh
very
yeah,
well
for sure.
rounded, but they have like they're on the top of the world right now for Olympic weightlifting. Russia, they're freaking crazy. They win all the medals in weightlifting as well.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the U.S., we have NFL, we have MLB, we have NBA, and from a young age, a lot of when we're exposed to that, they're like, "Oh crap, I want to be a basketball player, I want to be a baseball player, I
Yeah.
want to be a
I
football
mean, we've got
player."
the Americanized sports.
Yeah, yeah. So Olympic weightlifting isn't really because like a lot of football players they'll lift lifts like off season, just to
Yeah, they
just to
do, and
train.
it's mostly the cleans. It's a lot of and
Yeah,
it's the leg drive. What they're trying to get from that movement is a lot of like the hip extension and the leg drive through that. It's a power
yeah.
movement.
But I don't know that a lot of like because if you look at a clean of an Olympic champion and a clean of like a college football player, like the college football player looks like a noob. Like,
Yeah, yeah, they don't. It's different. I think the outcome that they're expecting. So they, it's obvious that they don't practice it the same way or train it the same way because they just don't like,
yeah, I
want the
guess it's
same
different
thing.
purpose.
For the football player, it's like it's purely strength building, but they're never going to use the clean in their sport. So it's just like, don't care if I do it right, don't care if I do it wrong. I just want to get it done. My coach is going to stop yelling at me, and I'm going to get a little bit stronger because that's what coach says.
Yeah, well, they want it on the field because like the offensive line, defensive line, a lot of explosive movements on there on the
Yeah,
field. But enough about that. But we got to talk about the mechanics of the snatch and clean and jerk. So shout out to Clarence Kennedy, um,
God,
the Irish
my
Beast.
God.
He I think he's a 100 kilo lifter. He has snatched. I'm pretty sure he's done 190 already, right? 190 kilos.
I think so. I was watching a video not too long ago, and he was up there. He hit a four. I think he hit a 405 snatch. That's up there, 190 ish, something like that.
So what? I know because he has a Patreon, uh, and he releases footage to the Patreon guys, and they don't release, and he released some footage to the public. But I read around, and he apparently hit 190 kilos, which is 418 pounds.
Yeah, yeah,
Imagine that overhead. Like what the
yeah.
fuck?
Oh my God, I've never
And
put that weight on my back before. Never even close. So just to be able to hold that, it seems absurd.
I think his best clean and jerk is 222 kilos. I think, which is like 497, I believe. I keep forgetting, but
Yeah, I'm
it's
not
somewhere
sure.
up. It's up there. It's insane. But yeah, so um, the man Clarence Kennedy, he had a video. I think he did it with Omar Isuf.
Yeah,
He talked about the mechanics of the snatch and the clean, and he said that pulling in the snatch and the clean are basically the same. So, in your experience, has that held true?
yeah. It's almost like an RDL, sort of. From the ground, if you've ever seen the setup or yeah, for the setup for the snatch or the clean and jerk, um, the big difference is the hand positioning and sometimes the width between the feet. Other than that, you're in that like low squat position. You got like the parallel at the thighs, and you've got the bar centered. Usually your knees are like over the bar, and then you have your shoulders either like directly over the bar or a little bit in front of the bar. But from there, the pull is the same. It's keeping that back parallel through that whole first pull. And all you're doing is you're kind of picking the bar up off the ground and you're sliding your shins into a vertical position. And then once you get to sort of like the mid to the top of the knees, that's when you have that sort of like throw where you're throwing your shoulders back. You're kind of like lifting your chest a little bit and you're throwing your shoulders back and you're pulling the bar either into your quads or you're into your hip region, whether it be the clean or the snatch. But through that whole first to second pull until you get to that triple extension position, it's the same movement. Whereas it's the little bit different is just like you've got to have a little bit more. You got to focus a little bit more on like your scapular rotation or your scapular. I'm forgetting. Retraction when you're in that snatch position, just because your hands are a little bit wider. It's a little bit different pull. It's gonna like pull your arms out, whereas like you want to pull everything back in and like create that shelf. That like
if you guys ever want to get freaked out, just watch a shirtless Olympic lifter in the bottom of the snatch position. The weirdest, like their traps just and their scaps, they just look so weird. Like
everything's like
their muscles look
depending
crazy.
on where it is in the position. It's like either everything's like way spread out and like flat, or they have everything like bunched up and it's just like your back like ripples. It's cool. You build crazy traps and like crazy rhomboids. Everything through that whole section just gets so strong. And that was one of the big things that when I first got into it, I was like, that first session after I hit snatch or whatever, or snatch or my my jerks, I was just like, my back, I can't feel my back. My back is just it hurts so bad, because you just don't expect it. Like it's not a normal thing to be in that position and to have to like secure yourself so much like that. I've gotten used to it now, but it's like it's so much strength in your upper back. It's crazy.
So what I've noticed, I'm a powerlifter, so I really can't relate to this at all. But after the triple extension, lifters either stomp or they don't. They either have like they slap the platform with their feet, or they'll do something like a shift. They'll slide, and there's not much noise. So I noticed that your style is mostly the slap.
Yeah, and I'm very inexperienced. It's very weird jumping from the platform, because that's what one of the cues that if you ever have a coach or anybody that like, or you're trying to teach somebody, if they don't extend enough, if there's not enough extension at the hip when you get the bar to the hip, you kind of instruct them and you're like, more jump, less more like less thrust. Like you want to move more in a vertical position and less in a horizontal trajectory. That's what I meant.
Because I heard the slapping of the feet is it just makes the body drop faster.
Yeah, a lot of people will kind of like curl, like do a hamstring curl sort of thing to drop down into that snatch or into that that bottom squat position. It's really just lifter to lifter. What you want to do is minimize your time getting under that into that position. So whatever is comfortable, whether it's that you're slapping the ground, so that's just like a really, really fast like foot drive. A lot of people will slap the ground just to like feel just to feel that like they have their feet balanced. Because if you land on your toes or you land on your heels, that matters, because you're either gonna fall backwards with the bar if you have it in a clean position. If you land on your heels, you're gonna fall backwards with it. If you land on your toes, you're probably gonna dump it forward, and you're gonna fail the lift. Or if you're in that overhead position, if you're on your toes, that you lose a lot of stability in your back because you don't have the vertical compression from the bar anymore on your spine. You have like a weird angular compression. And then the other way around, there is no way that you're going to, if you land on your heels and you have the bar in front of you, that you're going to pull the bar backwards. Like it's just too much weight, and physically you can't do it. Once you get in that position, you fail. So it's being able to maintain that balanced position when you land. And that's a big thing.
Yeah. So, the balanced foot thing, shout out to Squat University on Instagram. He talks about the tripod foot, which is basically the pressure on the heel, pressure on the ball of the foot, on the big toe area, and then near the pinky toe area. And those are basically like the big like you want the pressure evenly placed throughout the whole
Yep.
foot like that, instead of just excessively like forward back. Then yeah, obviously like some lifters can save it. Like if they end up like catching the bar and like on their toes, they can like maybe run with the bar to eventually try to catch up.
Yeah,
But
if
to
you sit, if
end
you
up,
catch it just right, and you can like kind of stand up with it, and then you get walking, it works out. The big thing is like the transfer that I had between powerlifting and then Olympic lifting was like when I was powerlifting and I would squat or deadlift, a lot of it's like you were instructed to drive through your heels, and it wasn't a lot of when I try to instruct people now when I'm in the gym and someone asks me to like kind of coach them through whatever if they haven't done it before, if they just need help, my instruction is push your whole foot through the ground, because it's different pushing through your heel rather than visualizing pushing your whole foot through the ground. It's a different balance technique, in the way that you kind of feel that out, and that was a transition that I had to kind of overcome between the powerlifting and the Olympic lifting. Was like, okay, I'm way too far back on my heels. I keep dumping the bar forward or like just not catching it because I'm not in the right positions. So finding that like center foot, it's center foot throughout the whole thing, throughout the whole lift. That was a big thing for me.
Actually, let's talk about squats. Actually, I feel like Olympic lifters, they use squats more of an accessory movement to strengthen their legs for the snatch and clean and jerk, whereas powerlifters, that is of a competition lift.
Yeah.
So the Olympic lifters, they go ass to grass all the way down, and the powerlifters, they just need to break parallel.
Yeah, and you'll see it. You'll see
hip joint
too,
below the
that
knee.
like the Olympic lifters will be very quad and glute dominant more so than anything because of that really, really deep squat. And again, that's the difference between, so you have your power cleans or your power lifts, and then you have your, I don't want to call them full lifts because I mean they are full lifts, if you just say snatch or clean. But the full lift is like when you hit depth below that parallel. So above parallel or parallels is a power lift. So a power snatch or a power clean. And then when you hit below that depth, it's then a clean or a snatch. The squat as like use as a tool in my training is definitely more accessory than anything. It's strength building. And that's where the accessory is, because when I start my training sessions, normally it goes that if I'm on, so today I had a snatch day. Today I did like a 3-part snatch. I did like a snatch from the ground, and then I'd lower it back to my hips, and then I did a snatch from below the knee, and then I did a snatch from like mid thigh to above the knee.
Is that all in one set?
Yeah, it was tough. That was one of the reasons that I didn't have a great session today, and I'm just really like sore. Yeah, I'm just sore and tired. I did a lot of hypertrophy work and like a little bit of like a fit workout yesterday, or a HIIT workout. I just figured I wouldn't be able to get outside today because that's where I have to train, is in my driveway. I thought it was going to be kind of nasty out today, but I guess it kind of cleared up around 4:30ish, 4 o'clock. So I went outside and got.
I mean, I've dabbled a little bit in Olympic lifting. I think my best snatch was 145, and my best clean and jerk was.
That's not bad. That's not bad for like if you don't train it. Those are like decent numbers.
Yeah, and I hit that like 2 years ago before my shoulder injury. But what I've noticed is setting up mentally for a clean and jerk and setting up for a max deadlift. Like, I'm not shitting on powerlifting, but it took a lot more focus, and to get more, I had to hype myself a lot more harder for a max clean and jerk. Like, it's like 3 lifts in one. Like, you get the clean, you gotta have the energy to extend, get into a front squat, and then you have the energy to finish it off and press it overhead.
Yeah.
It's like, what the
And I'll
hell?
transition. I just want to finish out on the squat. I'll transition into that because that's also a huge thing, is the focus when you're lifting. The squat's kind of, for me, more so an accessory and like strength building kind of thing. We never really go, at least in my training, I never go above 5 or 8 reps in a set. Just because, like, I'm you know this, it's a strength thing. Your strength numbers are like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
Relies on the
3 to
low
5
reps, I
3 to
guess.
5 reps.
Yeah.
So that's where we kind of lie. Is it's a strength
Yeah.
sport. We do it in there, and it is just purely so that when we get into that deep squat, and that's why we squat so deep, when we get into like that deep clean or that deep overhead squat, we can stand back up out of it because we have the strength to do numbers like twice that. The difference is when we do like the lifts, the numbers are much lower than like our monoliths or what would be like the squat, just because you have so many other components. But it's mainly just a strength thing, so that like when I get into that really deep position, I can get out of it, and that's kind of what we use squats for.
Mm-hmm.
Setting up the focus for max lifts is just, it's so different.
Yeah, it's a different approach. I noticed when I approach a max deadlift is a lot different because deadlift is it's a very short.
Yeah, and there's not much that
lift.
can go wrong.
Like,
and that was the one thing.
Yeah.
I do usually my Saturday training sessions are usually a max out. And if I'm kind of failing my lifts, my warm up sets, I'll try and hit just like my current PR. And that's
you max
usually
out once a week.
But again, they're not like crazy weights. They're just crazy weights for those movements. So it's not like where you'd go and hit like a 600-pound squat every week or something. It's
I don't think that'd be good
it's
for me,
like once a week, after a rest day or after like an active recovery day, that I'll go and it's like a competition style sort of thing. I'll go and hit my snatch. I'll warm up for my snatch, hit my PR, and then if my my current PR felt good, so I was at 84 kilos for like a while. I was at like $185 for a while. And then last weekend, there was just really, really good day and I was feeling good. So I bumped it up, and I hit 88, and that was my new PR.
Actually, what are your so this is like a good transition. I wanted to ask you, what are your current maxes and what do you want them to be in the long term?
My current snatch is 88 kilo, and my current I gotta put in kilos now. My current clean and jerk was a 230, so like a 104. So my total is like a 192.
Did you say 88 kilos?
193.
So is that 193?
Yeah. And my body weight right now is like 73 kilos. So like,
wait, that's a pretty damn high snatch compared to your clean and jerk.
My clean and jerk's 104.
Like, because a lot of the, especially I see in the USA weightlifters, their snatch, like compared to their clean and jerk, is like way apart. Like your snatch is actually very it's pretty strong.
Yeah, I have a really strong overhead squat, comparatively, I guess, to other things. I don't have access to like a squat rack while I'm here at my house. I have like construction. They're like weird. I don't even know what to call them. They just stand. They're like stands. Like they're not even squat stands. They stand at like 2 feet tall, 2.5 feet tall. So I gotta get really deep under it to even get the bar on my back. It's annoying. So I don't go super heavy. I think today was like the heaviest that I've gone in a while. I was like I was doing like 220 or something, or less than that. I was like 98 kilos, for a set of 5. I don't have that.
Okay, so you have an 88 kilo snatch and a 104 kilo clean and jerk. What are you hoping to hit?
So I was in, or at least I put myself into the 73 kilo class. But I'm not really I can't gain much more strength where I am right now at this weight. Like I need to gain some weight. So I bumped myself up into the 81 kilo.
Okay.
And
Oh wow.
my short-term goals are to hit national numbers. So I want to hit, I think it's a 203 total. So if I could hit like a 110 clean and jerk and a 90, 95 snatch, that would make my year.
Is this like senior nationals, or are we
This is
talking
just
like
open.
collegiate nationals?
I think this is just open nationals. I
Open.
have a feeling that university nationals, it could be the same. It could be like U25 and university, I think, could also be a 203 total, but I think it's a little bit less. I'm actually curious. I'll look that up right now. But those are my short-term goals. I would love to make it to that event that usually happens out west sometime in the beginning of like 2021. It's usually in the beginning of the year.
Okay.
That's my goal. So like
That's a short-term
yeah.
goal.
No,
Jesus
dude,
Christ. I can't even imagine
if dreams could come true, I would love to just work my ass off as like an Olympic athlete, like an actual elite Olympic athlete to be in. There's no way. There's just genetically I'm not there, and I'm not willing to like put morals aside and take whatever drugs and just be underground like that. It's not me. I've heard so much about like the process is just not for me. But like that would be a dream for me, is just to make it on a scale like that. But I would also love to be a coach for those elite lifters as well, or just like elite athletes in any sense. That's another.
Hey, that's respectable.
But yeah, short term, like a 110 clean and jerk and like a 95 snatch. I would love, like absolutely love, to be up in like the 300 pounds for like a snatch and like mid 300 pounds for like clean and jerk. Just get like super strong. I think that'd be cool. Just be like a national kind of lifter, like my.
You could definitely place high up there with those kind of numbers. Like, you could definitely be top 10 with those numbers.
Those are big guys,
especially in the U.S.
Those are like really, really strong, really big guys. But
so you want to hit those numbers at what weight class? Like the 300 something snatch?
81s or 96, just somewhere in that range of like it would be.
If you hit it at 81, that's very
good. It's doable. It's like a double body weight. So like 81 kilo is like what 176, something like that, like mid 170s for body weight. So it's like
okay. Oh yeah, 81. Yeah, 81's like 77.
Yeah, so it's like a little bit less than double your body weight, which is completely doable. Like there's a lot of people that are hitting double body weight. Dude, these girls that are in like what are they? They're in like the 56 kilo class or something. They're like 120 pounds, and they're hitting like 100 kilo, 110 kilo clean and jerks. And I'm like, oh my God, these girls are amazing. Like this is just awesome. This is so crazy. Cool. And there's people like some of the elite athletes were starting to hit like, they're getting close to like triple body weight in the clean and.
Oh, has it done? That's been done already. Yeah, it's been done. Do you follow North Korea? Because they're insane.
A little bit. I know now out of like the whole quarantine stuff with some of their stuff being lifted, they're like, some of them are like, what was I gonna say? They're doing like world PRs. They're getting close. They're like hitting those PRs for like
they
numbers.
So there was a guy named Yun Chol at 50. Wait, what are the new weight classes? Is it 52 now? Or no, 55. 55. Yeah, they changed it to 55. I don't know why, but he hit. Crap. What did he hit? I'm gonna pull it up right now. Pretty sure. He hit triple body weight though. Okay, yeah. So I think he did 170 pounds or 169 kilos in the clean and jerk at 55.
Oh my god.
And I was just like, what the fuck?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And we got someone in the past, Pocket Hercules, Naeem
I think so.
Suleimanoglu.
I think I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, so this man is like 4'11". He's like a 69 kilo lifter, and I think he clean and jerked like 190.
Yeah, dude.
Like
It's
something crazy. I was like,
I think predominantly in that sport, those guys that are like absolutely amazing at those like lower weight classes, so like the 73 kilo and below, are just like super short guys. And in that realm, the mechanics of your body just you have the advantage. You have the
it's so
advantage
advantageous.
100%.
Yeah, yeah, it's insane. Like I'll see like when they squat, it's like no range of motion,
Yeah.
and it's still ass to grass.
It looks like they hit parallel, but like they're just they have so much mass on them that like
Yeah,
it's crazy. They're crazy. I love watching those videos.
yeah. Then we have like giants like legendary Lasha Telekatsi. I don't know. I think he's like 6'4", 6'5", or 6'6". That guy's like he could be a basketball player. That guy's so tall. But yeah, so moving on from there, did you ever have a coach?
Aside from like, so not personally, not one that I hired, but the assistant coach Kyle that was at Cortland that just moved, he was big into CrossFit, and he did a little Olympic lifting here and there. And because we'd always be in the gym at the same time, he would kind of like coach me through some stuff here and there, and kind of put me onto the idea that like it's very advantageous to have a coach. Unfortunately, being the college student, I couldn't really, and still can't, like afford one. So I just kind of use the knowledge that I have from my degree and stuff that I find online and the people around me that like lift and whatnot for my coaching experience or coaching needs or whatever. But there's also like 315 weightlifting out in Auburn. They hold weightlifting sessions or weightlifting quote unquote classes every like Saturday from like 8 to like 9:30 or something like that. And there was a girl from there, Gwen Proper, who graduated from Cortland. I got in touch with her, and her boyfriend, or I don't know if it's her boyfriend or husband, he's like the head coach at that place. So I go there. I've gone there once, and I intend to go there again. They're awesome. But he will kind of like coach you, and they've got programs and stuff set up, whether you bring your own program and you're just going to do your own like training program that day, or you just want to do what they have. But aside from the guy at Cortland and John over at 315 weightlifting, I haven't really had a coach. It's all kind of been like, I try stuff. If it doesn't work, I try something else until I find what works. Like a plug and chug, just like try my own stuff. And I've kind of figured out what works for me. It's kind of just like fine tuning stuff. Now I'm getting to the point where I'm like 6 months in. It's like, I'm not so new to the sport. I'm still new, but like I'm kind of understanding things. I'm getting a little bit stronger. My training capacity is increasing a little bit, and I've kind of figured out like how often I can train and at what intensities per day. So I've kind of, through my own experience in other sports and then through like their help as well, kind of had my coaching, but nothing like strict coaching.
I feel like it's like one of the advantages of having an actual lifting coach is you get to focus on being the athlete. Like you don't have to like coach yourself.
That's the hard part.
And write out
That's
your
the hard
program.
part. When I was
you just
powerlifting, sorry to interrupt. When I was powerlifting, I was coaching myself, and I wasn't never going to compete in powerlifting, or at least at the time, I wasn't going to compete. But it was just like I'd go in every day and I would just kill myself. Like I would just absolutely destroy myself, walk out with rhabdo, and then go and do the same thing the next day. And I'm like, it's hard. It's hard with not having a coach, but it's
My God, have you ever gotten close to that?
Not
Getting
severe, but
wrapped
yeah,
up? I
yeah,
hope not.
totally. Oh my God. And switching over to Olympic lifting, yeah. Because you just don't know the intensity that you need to be training at. So right out of the jump, I'm just like, yeah, screw it. I'm gonna go every day. So we're gonna train 7 days a week, and we're just gonna, try and PR whatever we can. And I'm hitting. It's
Rhabdo? Oh my God. I think the full word is
rhabdomyolysis. Yeah,
rhabdomyosis.
I believe so. Yeah,
Well,
'cause
okay, yeah,
it's
but that
lysis. It's lysis
that is
of the
freaky. You don't
it's
want that.
lysing of the cells. So it's like you're destroying cells and
Yeah.
then you toxify your body. But I just remember I'd walk out of the gym some morning, and it was almost immediate that I was just like, I'm either super dehydrated, my electrolytes are gone. I've been fasted and I've got class for another 2 hours. So like 2 hours of training fasted at an intense rate, and then I've got class, so I can't even eat for another 2 to 3 hours. That I was just like destroying myself. So it took a lot. Yeah, it took a lot to like
I
get to a point
remember.
where I was like, okay, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable, kind of like understanding my body and where I'm at and where like what these feelings mean. Um, and it hurt me not to have a coach, but it was also a big training point because now I can, when I go in the future to train other people, it's always beneficial to have experienced or to like have some sort of knowledge of what your client or what the person that's under you is going to experience, and that you can like give them an insight to like these sort of higher thinking or higher like not status, but like you need to put yourself in this position and like don't be an ego individual, take the rest that you need, be respectful of yourself. You're just going to hurt yourself otherwise.
Yeah. Especially athletes
Yeah,
of
for sure.
our age,
For sure.
they chase the
And
number.
it's scary
They chase the number,
because
and they
when you
yeah.
especially our age, when you have access to stuff so frequently, and then especially like for myself, you get dumped in a community that's just like fitness, powerlifting. Like we're in the gym at all times, and we're just like it's gym life. It's scary because like you can get thrown into like people are on these diets and you're learning so much so fast that like I'm going to try this and then I'm going to try that. But then you get thrown into like, if you don't know what you're doing and you can't hold yourself to any certain thing and be like respectful of yourself, that you could fall into like dietary disorders or like eating disorders and stuff. You can fall into fitness addictions and things like that, where you have like body dysmorphia disorders and all that kind of stuff surrounding it. Stuff's scary.
Yeah, most definitely. Especially like the diet ones, like anorexia
Yeah.
and bulimia.
And
Those are no
it's
joke.
so because anybody can
Like,
develop it, and you don't have to look like the
yeah.
stereotypical anorexic or bulimic or whatever it may be to be classified under that. So I appreciate where I am. The school is awesome, and the people that I've met there, the faculty, the people lifting around me, my friends, they kind of help keep things in check, and they know what they're talking about, and it's a great.
Yeah, SUNY Cortland's community is insane. Like, I respect it. Like
Yeah,
being in an
it really
environment like
is,
that is
and
just so
people
positive.
want to get to know you, and they want to spend time with you in the gym, and they like people cheer one another on. Like when I'm in there and I'm hitting my PRs, it's cool. Like people that I don't even know will like take time out of their lifts because they see me and they see the four other guys around me that are like screaming at me to like hit that 230 clean and jerk, and like I get it up into that front rack, and they're sitting there screaming at me, and everyone else in the gym. I mean, it's like 6:00 in the morning, and there's only like 10 other people in there, but like everyone stops and everyone's cheering for you, and everyone's like, they want you to succeed. It's so cool.
I saw
It's
that
so
video. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, get it up.
I love
big
it.
drive,
I miss
big
it so
drive.
much. I wish we could have finished this semester out. I really miss my guys there. I miss being in that atmosphere, but we'll get back there soon enough.
Yeah, coronavirus is it's doing a
It
number
really is.
on the lifters, man. Like the sales of
Oh my
like the
god.
creation of home gyms.
I think
Oh my
commercial
God,
gyms
it's everywhere now.
after this whole thing, commercial gyms don't stand a chance. People will continue to support their
Oh
box gyms
God,
because I
yeah,
know
they
even
might not.
my local box gym, my CrossFit box, um, they do like the Zoom workouts. So like the head coach there will like get in touch with their clients or whatever class they were going to have. So people are still contributing and still like paying for those services. So those places are kind of like right on the edge of staying afloat, but like there's so many people that have home gyms now and have figured out like fitness outside of the commercial gym that like I think commercial gyms are going to take a huge hit, especially if there's limitations and restrictions on like the capacity that they're allowed to hold.
I mean, I don't know though, because a lot of people they are not working out during this lockdown, and they're probably gaining a lot of
Yeah,
weight, and it might be like New Year's resolution
maybe.
all over
I've seen a
again,
lot of the like
except
the meme of
yeah,
like the the freshman 15, now it's the quarantine 15. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the
But
lockdown 15 or something.
all of the people that I see local, and I guess maybe it's different down in Long Island, the city and whatnot, and I guess in the more populated areas because you guys are more restricted than we are. Um, things haven't
Hmm.
stopped as much up here. There's still a lot of movement. People are outside more, which I love to see. I think that's a great thing, especially for social styles. I think that people should be outside more. I think they should be experiencing more nature and more like holistic type things instead of being um, cooped cooped into that like lifestyle
Trapped
of
indoors.
technology and um, what was restricting us before. I think this opened a lot of people's eyes, but regardless, there are a lot more people outside now. People don't have access to gyms, and my local like hiking spot is like filled. Like there's always people there. The Adirondacks, so many people hiking now, and there's just people outside running all day. I go on walks down in my neighborhood every day that it's nice out with my parents, and there's at least 5 other families out there walking as well. There's just people are outside more, and I think people are going to miss being in the gym. And when they open up, there's going to be like that surge. It'll probably be like that New Year's style, but I think in the long run, people have kind of experienced that like we don't need these things to stay afloat, and the people that have spent money on like the home gyms probably aren't going to like release their stuff as soon as stuff starts opening back up. There's just like that possibility that like everything closes back down again. But there's also like these I spent money on it, like I'm probably going to keep it now because it's an investment, and the money that I spent on this was going to go towards like memberships. That was my uh, logical. That was my thinking behind it. That like the money that I was going to spend for the rest of this year or the rest of however long that I was living here on memberships for gyms, I'm just going to buy my own equipment. And now I'm in my driveway and I can train whenever the weather's nice. I can go in my basement, lift some kettlebells, do whatever. Like I've got my own equipment, and in the long run, it costs less. So I think that's another thing. But the social aspect is going to be something that I miss about it too, and being there and lifting with people. Um,
Well, it's definitely hard now because
yeah,
this whole COVID-19 situation. You said that there's like families out there walking,
yeah.
like they're
So
not afraid of
my
getting it.
where I live is more. It's like a cross between like rural and city style. So like in my city, there's like maybe 16,000 people, and closer to 10. There's really not a lot of people. And in my neighborhood alone, there's probably 30 to 50 houses. So yeah, it's
What?
very different from the city. There's just not as many people. It's not as densely populated here. There's like 30, 40, 50 feet between houses. Um, I got a huge backyard, huge front yard. We go walk down the street, go through the woods. It's very like I don't even know what the the show Ozark on Netflix. Really good show. Yeah,
I
yeah,
I've
really good
seen
show.
I've seen
But
it
if
in words. I
anyone,
don't think I've ever
it's
watched it.
like that style, like neighborhood kind of stuff, which is really nice. You don't live too. You get your privacy as well as you get your social, but nobody's like on top of each other, and that's the big thing. A lot of people can be outside and not be
Oh, that's good.
like breathing on each other. So
All right, so moving on, we have the topics of, let's see,
no.
have you ever
So
competed yet?
USAW actually has an online competition that they put on. They had one for, I want to say March. They had one for April, and they have it extended through May. And I think once gyms open, they'll probably stop it, or at least at the end of that month, stop it. I enrolled in that one. I don't know if I'm going to send in stuff for that or not. But I do have a comp coming up. I want to say end of June. They moved it around a bunch just to try and keep it right. No, that one's actually in
And it's
gym.
online?
We're at Swagler Strength.
Oh, okay.
Actually, that one's in Auburn. 315 Weightlifting's in North
Okay.
Syracuse. Over at the Auburn gym, Swagler Strength. So really looking forward to that one.
So what
I don't
are you
know.
planning to hit there?
It's tough because I don't have a squat rack, so I don't really have access to making huge leaps in like my strength. So I'm hoping that I can hit my 88 snatch and my 104 clean at least, and then anything above that is just a plus. I'm hoping that I can just maintain that strength from here till then.
Hopefully you can hit the 88
Yeah.
and the 104
Yeah,
on your second
that's what I was
attempt,
thinking.
and then you can like
Yeah,
get something big on
but
the third attempt.
nothing huge. I just waiting it all out to see what's going to happen at the end of the year. But short term, that's the comp that I have coming up. Yeah, that'll be the first one that
like
I
get your foot
actually
in the
like
door, right?
in person compete in. So it'll be very new. The way that you have to like warm up before your weight class is called. I think they called it counting lifts. So like whoever's on the platform or whatever weight class is on the platform before you, there's like a certain time before that you should be like warming up and lifting to prepare for like your flight or your like round or whatever. It'll all be really new for me. So I'm really excited about it. Really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, your first meet
I'm
is always
so
the most.
excited. I've been waiting.
Fun.
It was supposed to be like May 9th, so I think it was supposed to happen yesterday. But yeah, thankfully they moved it.
So they moved
that they didn't
June.
just
Okay.
outright cancel it, which was awesome.
Well, on the 15th they have they're gonna make a decision
Yeah.
whether to extend this lockdown.
Yeah, well, I saw
or
Cuomo extended
start
the
opening
state
things
of
up again,
emergency for
so
New York into
we'll see what
like
happens.
June 6th. So yeah, but that's just the state of emergency for New
Oh, they
York.
did?
So I guess we'll find out what they do as far as like the opening plans. I hope they do it by county. I think it would be smart to do it by county, just because you can like regionalize things opening in New York, and it's not just one big blanket. Because the difference between upstate and like downstate is very dramatic in just lifestyle and the way that things are populated. Because like Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo are like the bigger, more populated sections of New York, but even those aren't like, they're like nothing compared to the city. So I hope he does different stuff for upstate.
If they open it by county, like my county will probably be the last one open. Yeah, because
really?
my county is like the hardest hit in New York.
Dude, stay safe out there
with the COVID-19. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because New York is so dense, like the city. My God, like that's probably why it spread so fast. Like I think that the U.S. cases
Oh yeah,
The most
for
are
sure.
from New York, I'm pretty sure.
100%. Because I know even California kind
the
of, when they
top,
saw
yeah.
New York going down, it was, I think they took a little bit different measures, like right off the bat before their numbers started skyrocketing. I don't know where they sit now, but I know it's New York is just a hot spot.
But yeah, like
Yeah,
those
God
first
bless.
responders. Thank you to those first responders. They're
Oh.
saving lives out there. Anyway, moving on. We also have the discussion of multiple professional weightlifters retiring due to this. Actually, well, the legendary Ilya Ilyin, he retired due to the
I didn't know
pushback
that. Did
of
he
the
say
Tokyo
anything to
Olympic
why
Games. He said that Tokyo 2020 was supposed to be his last hurrah, and he said now like he wants to focus on other things like business and all that. Like he wants to start his second part of his life. Like he doesn't want to
Man,
be an athlete
I
anymore.
wonder, there must be some underlying,
So
because I
good for
know
him.
Nye for the USA team, she had a spot secured for this Olympic game for the 2020. And when the whole quarantine thing happened, when they canceled it or moved it, from what I heard, I know Rogers and Nye were both putting out statements. They were like, we don't know what's going on. Please stop pressuring us about it. We're also very anxious about it. This is our livelihood. Like they didn't know whether their spots were still secured, sort of thing, which is very understandable. They should be, but again, it's a year out, so there's so much that happens between there. That like if they open up the Pan Am Games or like whatever champion games or whatever secures your spot or like qualifies you for the Olympics, if they open that up and then people start winning that were like right on the edge of qualifying for the 2020, and then they win and then they start getting spots, that like kicks people around and kicks people out, and it's already pretty competitive who's in there, because I think they can only take a certain amount of people, especially per weight class. I think they only get like,
They have a policy of 4 guys and 4 girls. Four
yeah,
men,
so it's like
women.
it's like one
yeah
per weight class, not even.
Yeah, it's like just they're gonna pick 4 guys who are most likely going to win gold, 4 women who are most likely going to win gold, and
so
they'll have
it's
their
scary.
chances.
But from what I've heard, I think they did secure their spots. But for him, there's got to be something that like pushed him out, because I know there was Nye was going to retire after these games. She is. She has been training for so long, 21. And she's been married for a few years now, I think. I think she's been married
a few years.
I want to say 18 or 19. She's been married for, I want to say a few years. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think
she's married since 18.
Yeah, I don't know too much about
decision to make it 18.
the whole thing, but I think that's what it was. I know she is married. Yeah. I know she is.
Maybe
married.
It's a childhood sweetheart.
She was going to retire after these games, and when she, that was her plan.
Did she publicly say that?
Because I think Rogers was also not going to retire after these ones, but I think she's going to try and hit the next quad, which also makes me kind of think like, when are they going to put the next games? Are they going to do it in 24 or is it going to be 25?
I feel like
that would make sense, but it also pushes people out of their quads,
the regular schedule
training. So like you have those 4 years of training prior to, where now you've only got 3. Kind of.
Yeah.
It'll make it weird. There will be an asterisk next to this Olympic Games forever. Yeah, but I know she's
definitely
Nye's still in.
She's
still going to compete. She's still training to compete, and then still planning to retire after this games.
So Maddie Rogers, is she still trying to
go
past 2020?
What I heard, she was going to go through.
You think she'll take a shot at 2024
through the 2020 or through the 21? And she was talking from the last few interviews that I've heard, she was talking about pursuing training for the next quad, meaning that like she would train for the next Olympic Games. And I think she's got a lot of potential.
Yeah. The next one, 2024, it's in Paris. So, and then 2028, it comes back to the U.S.
Awesome.
It's in L.A. Yeah,
my dream is to go live out in Cali eventually, so hopefully I'm already out there by then. Yeah, a lot happens in
you
very
got time.
short
You
time,
got 8
so
years.
we'll see. But yeah, crazy that he
Yeah.
just up and retired like that. Again, there had to be something going on that just pushed him past that. But good for him.
And I think that's everything. So, it's been a pleasure having you on this podcast. We had some great discussions.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
And good luck on your weightlifting journey. I'm glad to follow it, man.